I know it's in the Constitution, but who's the Chief of Staff?
Well, the Chief of Staff immediately is the head of the staffers, persons whom the president appoints to work in his office, by law, by Constitution, Article 58, executive power vests in the president. In the presidency is also the vice president. And, of course, he needs people to work and execute, to enable to execute his functions. So the people, the officials he appoints, essentially are the first and foremost the presidential staffers. But there are other persons, people who are, posted from the civil service or public service to his office. And you can also employ people, experts and whatnot to work with. But the presidential staff constitute those he appoints under the Presidential Staff Office Act.
What about ministers, deputy ministers, and CEOs?
Yeah, they fall outside that category. The ministers, they fall outside the presidential staff, But these are constitutional appointees. The law talks about the president appointing them to execute the executive authority.
So the Chief of Staff is not responsible for them?
No, technically not. But the Chief of Staff is it's like a coordinate thing. Through him, processes go up to the president, and then he directs what should be done because of the nature of the constitutional arrangement that we opted for. Not the Westminster Prime Minister arrangement, but the power of the state vests in the president. It's him we hold responsible because he has the three powers of state. He all vested in him. He's immediately the head of government. He's immediately the head of the armed forces, but essentially he's also the head of state. When he's performing that function, he must tower above party or partisan levels, So it's a very powerful position indeed.
Okay. Now, Chief, you were not President Kufuor's first Chief of Staff.
No, I wasn't.
Yes, you weren't. Now, the question is, what do you look out for in a Chief of Staff? Who must be a Chief of Staff?
That's an interesting question.
Yeah.
Well, I believe the Chief of Staff will be somebody who is very close to the president. Close in the sense that you are in the office, maybe you are the first person he contacts on a lot of things. So it should be somebody who has some rapport with who will be able to talk to the president on more, not only on official levels, but also on unofficial levels. Somebody who the president should have confidence in, that he could leave things to him and he should report truly to him. So there should be some sort of cordiality between them. They should understand themselves. They should understand themselves very well. And if they knew themselves before they came together, it helps. For example, in my case, I knew the president from secondary school.
Oh,
he was 1 year ahead of me.
At Prempeh?
At Prempeh. Okay. So during those days, secondary school, maybe total population is about 600. So you know yourself, you become clannish, if I use that word. And then after secondary school also, we became members of parliament in the same party in 1979.
The Third Republic?
In the Third Republic.
Okay.
So he was somebody I've known.
You were MP for where?
For at that time they called the constituency Mampong South.
Okay.
That's what is now Afija Secretary East.
Okay.
Afija Secretary East. So
is that where I came to?
Yes,
your hometown.
Your
yes.
hometown. Yeah, that's where you came to. So I was lucky to work with somebody I've known over some time, and I think because of that also, the relationship between us was extremely cordial, if I put it that way. And therefore, because I have known him for a long period, and he has known me also over a longer period, he could leave a lot of things to me because I understood him and he also understood the way I behaved, the way I reacted to him and to other people. And therefore, we had a very smooth working relationship to the extent that he could leave a lot of things to me to handle, which on that. As a chief of staff, you are advisor to the president. You are, as my friend, you are the sort of bridge between him and all his appointees. Everybody will have to come to you to talk. Even if they want to go to the president to discuss some issues, they may come and seek your advice because they believe that you know the president, you may know the president's thinking. So they come to you to seek your advice. And because I have known him over this long period, we have some very close working relationship.
Why did he have to add Minister for Presidential Affairs to your portfolio?
It was simply because there were things you have to go to Parliament.
Okay.
And as a chief of staff, you go to Parliament as a visitor.
Okay.
But if you're a minister, you go there on the authority of your position. So you could send bills, which I think I sent about 2 or 3 bills to the House, and you are always allowed to go. Otherwise, a chief of staff, yes, they will allow you in, but
so then you have to rely on another minister to do those things for you.
To do a lot of things. Yeah.
Okay. All right, I get it. So, yes.
I was just going to add that, one, like my colleague said, one critical thing is about loyalty. In governance, loyalty is very important. It's extremely important. You must have people you can trust.
More important than competence?
No, I was just going to come to that. I mean, we first and foremost, you must trust a person. You may have a very competent but disloyal person.
Right.
Which one do you choose?
Right.
So you must have somebody who is very competent, who execute your the responsibilities assigned to you, which part you have passed to him. But at the same time, you must be loyal. Somebody you can count on. That in your absence, he will not collude with people. He will not deceive you. He will not abuse that office because it's a huge office. Yes. One just letter. I've read something like the president has issued a letter, saying that some people should be released from prison.
Yes.
The next day, there's a letter which says that no, the president has never said anything like that. Well, what does that mean? Or the president has sent some documents to Parliament for the approval of a loan. The president has to come back. It should never happen. You get me? In the AFRC period, if you know, there were terrible things. Those days, people were saying, "Oh, somebody has been sentenced to 99 years imprisonment." 2 hours later, then the AFRC will come out. No. The chairman of AFRC has never issued that. No, there must be stability in governance. It should be very clear. That's why the issue of loyalty. Yes. I was at the time, for instance, PNEC put in there that your signature must be the authoritative signature. So even if you come back, say the chairman of the PNEC says this, I said, okay, you go. I'll issue it in 10 minutes. He's waiting to clear it with the boss, first. Yes, but I have to go. Sure, I don't know. So because I'm trusting you. It's what the boss says.
So is the chief of staff a yes man, a person who massages the ego of the president?
That is the wrong person to choose.
That's the wrong person to choose. I agree with him.
Exactly.
That would be dangerous for you as a president.
Very dangerous for you as a president.
You must be able to tell your boss, I think this is wrong, and discuss it with him. Let me give you an example. There have been instances when the president report from say national security to the president, and the president would just minister to me, this person must go. I looked at it and said, what is the reason for this? So your president has instructed you, you can't say no. So I will wait for maybe a day or two and go back to him. Mr. President, I believe this thing is not right, and give reasons why I think these things are not right. And the president will look at it and make, are you sure about this? I said, why don't you let these other people check to find out if what I'm saying is right or wrong? So they will check and I come back to realize what I have told him is the right thing.
Right.
So the chief of staff, the president, should be, as he rightly said, loyal. Loyalty is very important. Competence, I believe you take the person because you think he's competent. But very important that he must be loyal to you. And very important that he should be able to look you in the face and tell you, sir, I think this thing is wrong. If you don't have that, you have a problem.
I'm
Yeah,
told
but
that.
just
Yes.
a trumpeter. You see, it is because people are probably expecting you when the president's is meeting, with the public or something like that, and the president says, "I've done this." Then you say that, "Mr. President, you haven't done that." No chairman criticizes the chief in public.
Right.
That's what it is. So, but you wait. When he finishes, then you come back. How did I perform today? So, well, you did well, but what you said wasn't correct. Is that so? Oh, I'm so sorry. Can you, take a little parcel to him and say, "I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't know." So you are the one.
There's a chiefs of staff are not loved because you most of the time play bad cop for a president who plays good cop for diplomatic purposes. So you virtually end up carrying the can and being the person who displaces people. What I mean is that there are times that presidents can't tell people in the face or shouldn't tell people in the face that it's A or B, and they sometimes create the impression that it's A.
You know what the Americans call that? You are the fall guy.
Yes.
Okay. So you take all the faults of the president. You sit down. You know that I've had a situation where the president was at a meeting with the chairman, and he said, "I've signed this document. What's happening to you guys?" And I mean, one of our former ministers at the time, said, "So, but that thing is on your table. You haven't signed it. I mean, that's not right, It was quite embarrassing. You don't do such things, So you really have to be, diplomatic about it. Yes, I will check it. And immediately you rectify it. So, yes, but the people on your side, your colleagues, may end up hating you. They'll think that you are snitching on them, you are talking ill about them to the president. The people, the supporters today with party supporters, they think that you are blocking their access to the president. Meanwhile, you have the president on top of you, stamping and, why is this not happening? So he's a poor guy, but he's holding so much power that he must be a responsible person to be a chief of staff.
That's right.
Now, Chief, I heard many times people say that, I met the president. I went to see the president. The president said it's okay. It's chief who's delaying the thing. I don't know why he's doing that. The president said he should do it.
You are only a chief of staff to the president. You don't have power. The power is with the president. And so if something is not being done, for example, if appointment is not being done, the chief of staff has no power to give appointment. It's only the president who can give the appointment. The chief of staff can go and advise the president that, Mr. President, this guy you have decided to do this to him. Could you maybe ask the national security to check on his background? Because this is what I might have heard. It may not be true. So you have to suspend it for some time. Your president will listen to you because there may be some truth in what you are telling. So the national security will check. They will come back and say nothing. Or they come back and confirm what we've told the president. So he said, put it aside. Have you informed him? No, I have not. Okay, there's no need to appoint him to that position. So you don't have any power. Chief of staff has no power. I heard a lot of people say about me, he's done this or that. But the only thing is that I will discuss with the president. He will listen to me, to my views. And if my views are right, he will take my views. And he will ask me to communicate that to people. And so this thing is coming from me. Well, I might have advised the president, there's no doubt about that. But I don't have that power to do it. The power is the president.
Now, let's yes.
I will stop on this one.
Yes.
You see, don't forget that the president has his own private friends.
Yes.
people he grew up with, and people is, every president has his own friends. You are a staffer, he works with you, you understand. Of course, the one area we don't talk about is the wives of presidents. They are as important and critical as other appointees. You get me? I mean, there's an Ashanti
People have said
movement.
something, but when President Reagan, his wife, people will say, he said, I sleep with him. I am the last person to go to the bedroom with him. So he listens to me.
Right.
It shows the power
Of the wife.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just saying, there's an Ashanti proverb that said, don't be afraid of those who are around the chief, what they can say. You should be really scared about the person who sleeps with the chief or behind the chief at night. You understand? Because after all is said and done, they go in there and it takes counsel. So it's very important that we also handle our first ladies properly. Probably have a little office where it's regulated, things can be checked and all that. Because their influences can or may drive national policies.